Hi all. So today we'll be proceeding further. Yesterday we have seen some exercises which were based on and, or, and with. If. Now we have to move further on. There are few more exercises which are based on if along with usage of some other function or usage of some operator like and or. So what we did yesterday, that we have seen there are so many number of criterias. If we want that all the criteria should return true, and in case all the criterias are returning true, we have to take some action. We have used and. Let's say we are having two criteria and we want that either of the criteria, if true, we have to take some action. We go for or. Today the situation is different. What is the situation? The problem statement says that we have to write the formula for result column, right? We have to write the formula for this result column. This result column should contain some rankings. What are rankings are there? Excellent, good, satisfactory and poor. These rankings are based on certain criteria or conditions. What are those criteria? First condition or criteria says if total marks are greater than equals to 350, the ranking will be excellent. If total marks are greater than 250, ranking will be good. This is the second condition. Third condition says that if total marks are greater than equals to 200, then the result will be or ranking will be satisfactory, otherwise poor. So what we see over here, that we are only given the student's name, right, and the marks scored in 4 different subjects. It means that for all these students we have to find out the total also, and we have to take action also. So to take the decision, I know that the operator is if. So let's see how we'll be using that operator. So first of all, let's clean these all marks, right? I'm cleaning these all marks, and now again go over here, write down the formula equals to if, right, because I have to check the criteria. This first is logical test, second is value if true, and third is value if false. So what is the logical test? Logical test is based on total marks, and total marks we can find out by using sum formula. So I am adding up all the 4 subject marks scored by Vipul. If it is greater than equals to 350, then the ranking will be excellent, right? If the condition is true, ranking will be excellent. What will happen if this particular condition is not true, right? Comma will be there after logical test. We write the value if true, and in between logical test and value if true, a comma is over there. What if this logical test is false? Then again we have to check. How we will check? Using if. If sum of, again, all these numbers, subject marks, are greater than equals to, second is 250, right? If the total score scored by Vipul is greater than equals to 250, then the remark is good. What if this condition is also not true? I will use second if. What this third if will do? Second means next if. Again it will find out the sum of all the subject marks scored by Vipul and check whether it is greater than equals to 200. If it is greater than 200, then we will give the remark as satisfactory. And what happens if all the conditions are false? Then the remark is, what is the remark? Remark is given over here, poor, right? So we will write poor over here. We'll close it. Now we have to close the brackets. So first of all, we will close the last if condition. Last if condition wherein we are checking the sum of total marks greater than equals to 200. Then we will close next if, that is for good, wherein we are checking the total marks greater than equals to 250. Then we will be going to close. See, it is mentioned by the color also. Here the color, red color, this is red color. This is purple color, this is also purple color. Now what color left? Black color. We have to keep on closing the bracket till we will not get the main parent bracket, that is black. So you look over here, what I have mentioned. If sum of all the scores scored by Vipul is greater than equals to 350, the remark will be excellent. If I select over here this condition, see what is mentioned, false. This condition is returning false. Can you see? Small false was appearing. Again I will select and you will see the result over here. What this condition is returning? False. Right? Hence it will not be going to display excellent. Again we go and select this condition. What it is saying? This is also returning false. So the result is not good or ranking is not good. Again I will check this. Sum is greater than equals to 200. Yes, it is mentioning true. So what will be the result? Satisfactory. Let's check. This is satisfactory. Now what we have to do? We have to use the same formula for other cells. So I will select all and press Ctrl D. So here if you see, in case of excellent, when I select sum of all the marks scored by this student, so what is the result coming? True, right? In rest of the cases it is false. In rest of the cases, okay, fine. Sorry. In rest of the cases, in all the cases it will be true, but it will be going to execute the foremost condition where it is true for the first time. Hence it is displaying excellent. Let's see another case, poor one. Here, first condition, this is false. Second condition, this is, see, it will show me, just a minute. This is false. Third condition, this is small false is coming. So if as all the three conditions are returning false, so what will be going to get executed? Last value, that is poor. So this is how we have used if along with the total marks scored by the students and taken the decision over here. Now come over here. Here one column is added wherein total is already given, and again we have to give the remarks. So how we have to give the remarks? If we look over here carefully, we have to return the remark as best result or worst result. Now how we have to just give this remark as best result? It depends upon the highest total marks. Whenever the marks scored by the candidate is the highest total marks, then the result will be best result. Otherwise, if it is lowest total marks, then it is worst result. So we have to look for the highest total marks and we have to look for the lowest total marks. Accordingly, we have to give the results. So these are the total marks. If you look over carefully, these are the total marks. I have to see which one or who is the one student who has scored the maximum marks. That student will be going to have a remark as best result. And out of these all total marks, the candidate who has scored minimum marks, lowest total marks, that candidate will be going to given the remark as worst. So how we'll do? We'll say equals to if I say this particular value, right? If it is equals to maximum of all these marks. These all are the total marks scored by all the students. If F75 means score scored by Vipul is equals to maximum of all the marks which are given over here, we will say best result, right? Else I will be going to check for minimum marks. So again I will select this cell and say equals to minimum of all these marks, right? All these marks, F75 to F82. If it is minimum, then what is the result? Result will be worst result. We have to do one thing, that is here we have to use if, right? If F75 is equals to minimum of all the subject marks, then the result will be worst marks. Else what we say? Else we haven't to say anything because nothing is been mentioned. So we can just leave it blank. Again we will close the bracket. This is the last if and this is the first if. And we will click on OK. So nothing is coming over here. We will just select all the cell and say Ctrl D. So see, these are the students whose result is best result, and this particular student has scored the minimum marks, right? 120 is the minimum marks. and 318 is the maximum marks. But we are actually, what we are doing, we are checking each and every cell along with other cell, right? So what we did here, what we are doing, we are checking. Okay, I forgot to freeze. So here we have to freeze this. I forgot to freeze, so I have to freeze. Then we see only two results will be coming, because the cell in which we are looking for is to be freezed. Here also it has to be freezed, here also it has to be freezed. Now see, when I press this, I'll say, and I will copy this formula everywhere. Okay, let me see what is happening. Formula, I am not able to copy the formula. I'll write it again because I forgot to freeze and replaced it, right? So what we have to do again, see, equals to, if this particular marks is equals to maximum of all the marks given in this range. This we have to freeze, right? Because this range is fixed, whereas student score will be going to get checked with each and every marks, right, which is lying in the entire series. If F75, if the total marks scored by Vipul is equals to maximum of all the marks, then the remark will be best result. If it is not, we have to look for minimum. So we will use again another if F75 is equals to, this time we will check for minimum value. Minimum of all the marks scored by all the students, right? And we have to freeze also. I have freezed the entire range of marks which are lying in different cell. Then we have to say worst result. Else we haven't to say anything. So I am just putting hyphen over here so that we can better understand. We will close the innermost if, then the outermost if bracket, and we'll press enter. So hyphen is coming, it means this particular student hasn't scored neither maximum or nor minimum marks out of all the scores scored by each and every student. Now I will select all the cell and I'll say Control D. So 318 means this particular student, Anamika, has scored the highest marks and Kartike has scored the lowest marks. Hence Anamika's result is best result and Kartike result is worst result. So this is we have to do, right? This is what I did. If you look over here carefully, I said ki if F77 is equals to maximum of marks scored by all the students, so it is returning true, hence the result is best result. Now again check over here. Check over here. What this particular result is giving? This particular condition is giving me false. So hence this student is not having the remark as best result. Let's check for minimum. So what is the result? Let's check for minimum. So what is false? It means that this student will not be going to get the remark as worst result. So what is left with? Left with hyphen. Hence hyphen is coming over here. Now reach to next question. What is this next question? Here, write the formula for remarks column that return position as first position, second position, third position. It means we have to give the remark to first position holder as first highest marks, second highest marks scorer as second position, and third highest marks scorer as third position. So how we will do this? Let's come over here. We will say if this total marks is equals to, we will use large function. What large function will do? It will take the entire range. I'll freeze this, comma, first. Which particular marks is having the largest score in itself? So I have given the position as 1, right? So this is the condition. If this condition is true, I have to give remark as first position holder. Let's say this condition is false, then we have to go for second position holder. So what we do then, okay, fine. One more thing is over there, we have to give all the position holders, right? So we will say here, or we will say over here, or we can use and also, right? I will write all the conditions in one go, and this is first condition. Then I'll say this F88 comma F88 equals to large. Again this entire range, I will be freezing this range and say 2. If it is 2, then what we have to do? Then we have to say second position holder, or we can use over here or also, that will be much better for us. Fine, either of this condition if true. Then I'll say again this cell, if equals to large of this entire range, then I'll freeze the range comma 3. If it is 3, then we have to say third position holder, right? So we can use if also in spite of this. Let me just make it in another way out. What I'll say, I will simply say if over here, if this particular number is at the first position, this is first position holder. Otherwise again I will use if this is equal to second highest number, then the remark will be second position holder, right? Otherwise again I will use if this particular value is equals to the number which is lying at the third position, then I'll say third position holder. Otherwise I'll say no position. Let's say I will close last bracket, then second last bracket, then third last bracket, and I'll say enter. So this is no position, and again I will select all the cell and say Control D. So what happened? Just see. This is first position 318, second position is 273, and third position is 255. So this is how we will be using this particular formula. So what I do, I'll write for you the formula over here so that you people can see, as you people complained that we people are not able to see the formula. So I'll say equals to formula text of this particular cell. So this is the formula, right? This is the entire formula. We can do one more thing. We can write this form, we can just drag these two over here so that you can see the entire formula, right? So this is the entire formula. Same thing we will do for other places. I will just format it so that you can see the formula properly. I'll say and I'll say merge across, right? So this is the formula which you have to see. This is the formula. Again I have to just drag it till here, I think. Then it will show the complete formula. This is the complete formula. So if you look over here carefully, so what is going on? If you look over here carefully, what we did, we said if F8 is greater than equals to the largest value lying at first position, then the remark will be first position holder. If it is not at the, if the marks scored by this student is not lying at the first position, we look whether it is lying at the second position. I have written KS2, and large function will be going to give me the largest value lying at the kth position. Here K is 2. If this F88 is equals to the largest position lying at 2 position, then the remark will be second position holder. Otherwise, I have to look for third position. Large function will be going to return me the third position marks. If F88 is equals to the marks which is lying at the third position, the remark will be third position holder. Otherwise, no position, right? So this is what we did. You can just stop the video in between and you can just check it out. Otherwise, just go through the concept. Now see, I am copying this, Control C, and I'll again write the formula over here, right? So what is this formula? Again, if you check over here, if you carefully check over here, what is going on in this situation? In this situation, we are saying that if F75, if this marks is equal to maximum of the marks scored by all the students, then the output will be best result. If it is not equals to maximum, then I'll look for whether it is equals to minimum marks, min function, minimum of all the marks stored in the entire range. If it is not equals to minimum, then it will be going to display this hyphen, because in this false action I have written within double quotes hyphen. If it is true, then it will be going to return worst result. So you can stop the video and check how I have written this particular function. Same thing we'll be doing for other exercise. This was the exercise which we did. So here what I have written, I'll say this is equals to not G63, the formula is written in this cell. So what is the formula which is written? If sum of all the marks is greater than equals to 350, then the result will be excellent, remark will be excellent. Otherwise, if sum of all the marks are greater than equals to 250, then the remark will be good. Otherwise, again, if sum of all the marks are greater than equals to 200, then the remark will be satisfactory. Otherwise, false. So from here we were left with the exercise. So this is all about, and you just try these all questions also. I hope you will not find any difficulty. In case you find difficulty, then you people can come back to me. Okay, thank you.